Y'all, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. So there has been like a common theme going on in some of the friend circles that I'm in right now, and just in general that I'm noticing. And it is about us having assumptions. And assumptions will literally steal your joy. Like, what was that show where the girl would clap every time she said, like, take your joy? Anyways. Oh my gosh, I forget. Remember? That was like a whole thing. She would literally do that and then she'd be like, it wasn't the cash me outside girl. But this girl would like, oh, come at me, bro. It was the come at me, bro. Oh my God, please DM me and tell me what show that was from. I don't think it was Jersey Shore, right? It was like after that. Okay, well, anyways. But assumptions will steal your joy. Like literally, it is so freaking annoying. Like we have to think about this. We have to talk about this. We need to unpack this because assumptions will steal your joy. For those of you watching on YouTube, why I was just staring off in the distance, I saw something on this wreath that I have. I have this beautiful wreath of magnolia leaves. It's so gorgeous. Oh my God, I love this view that I have in my office. But anyways, it looked like a little spider web and I was like assessing the situation. So assumptions though, literally, we're diving into this because so many people right now are like, I've just noticed it in a lot of friend circles. There's a lot of like little fights, little weird things happening, and it's all because of assumptions. I'm making assumptions. People are making assumptions, not just like in my little friend circle, but I just keep hearing this come up where there's like issues happening and people that are kind of having issues with each other. And it's because of the assumptions that we're all making. So literally, I'm about to read you the definition of an assumption. It's a noun. A thing that is accepted as true or as certain to happen without proof. Without proof. The action of taking or beginning to take something for granted. The taking on of a role, duty, or responsibility. Okay, fine. That's like the assumption of a role. But basically, when we accept something as true to happen, we think that it's going to happen. We're like so hung up on it. We're like saying, this is happening, this is going to be happening, whatever. And there is no proof. That is that is when we assume something, right? It's a belief that we accept without fully verifying it, without the truth. Assumptions are starting points. Usually this is how we do start. And especially as women, we're always multitasking. We're always thinking about everything. So I know that in our heads, it's easier for us to start thinking about the reasoning that we're making, the decision making that we're going to, do, right? Because we can start thinking about things and start rationalizing it, start coming up with our comeback responses, or, if this happens, then I'll do this, or if this happens, I'll do this. But the thing is that when we do that, we are stealing so much of our own happiness. We're in our head future tripping over something that may not even happen. So now, not only are we living that anxiety, that anger, that frustration once while we're doing it, while we're thinking ahead and while we're getting in our heads about these things, but then we're also going to live it again if it really does come true. We're putting our nervous system through this twice. We're putting our anxiety through this, our depression, our anger, our frustration, all of the emotions. We're giving our bodies a huge emotional response way ahead of time. And we don't need to be doing that. What we do when we future trip like that is we're living way too far in the future. We're robbing ourselves of the joy that we would be having in this present moment. The joy that literally right now as I'm recording, the sun is coming up. It's a gorgeous sunrise. Like I wish I could capture it, on my phone camera, the way that like people do. I don't know. I can't. It's not beautiful. I can't take a picture and share this with you. I wish that I could, but it's like an orange, like think of like those creamsicle popsicles, like when we were kids. Like it's just this bright, beautiful, gorgeous orange glow, and it's amazing. And I'm about to pop Celsius and have a busy work morning. But here's the thing. If I sit here and I am future tripping and I am so stressed about things that are not even happening at the current moment, I'm going to rob myself the joy of experiencing this sunset, of experiencing this beautiful moment. I literally slept in. I actually didn't sleep in. It's very early right now. It's sunrise. But did I say sunset? Anyways, it's the sunrise. It's gorgeous. But last night I slept. I went to bed like at 8 because my nervous system right now is fried. It's just fried. There's so much going on. I went to bed really early I had an amazing night of sleep. I took some magnesium and it was beautiful. I had a good night of sleep. I woke up. I had to go take something to work. It was a beautiful drive. There was like nobody around. Got to talk with my husband. It's his bedtime in India. And we got to chat, and it was just it's such a beautiful morning. Now the sun is rising and I'm talking to you, and I'm so happy. All of these joyful moments will be robbed from you when you sit here and ruminate on things that may not even be happening. Assumptions become like a starting point for us, for this decision making, this reasoning. But again, like oftentimes they're incorrect, or they might not even, they're incorrect because they might not even happen, right? Or they're incorrect because they haven't happened. So here's the thing. We don't know for sure what other people are thinking or feeling until they tell us. So in the meantime, while we're assuming things and getting all up in our head about things, we could be completely wrong. Yeah, it makes it nice to like simplify the situation in our head, to just kind of think like whatever, but this ends up leading to a lot of times to misunderstandings when we don't check in. We might miss an opportunity to check in with a friend, to talk to them about something, to get their side of things because we just assume rather than ask. So I recently was going through this with a friend of mine. I'm obviously not going to share details because I really want to respect this person's privacy, and we have not spoken about me airing anything out on the podcast. And so, of course, I'm not going to. But going through a little bit of a weird thing with a friend, somebody who has been in my life for a while, somebody who I really adore and really respect, because of the assumption that let me just backtrack for a sec. So there's like a weird situation happening, a weird thing, and this person has sent me like a few messages, and me, a good voice note. I love a good voice note and I love to send them. So this person sent me a couple of like longer voice memos. I haven't had the capacity. As much as I love this person and I want to prioritize this person and I have massive respect for this person, I don't have the capacity currently to listen to these long voice notes as much as I want to. And I love a long voice note and I love this person, right? I don't have the capacity, I haven't had until very recently, the capacity to listen. I'm going through so much right now that my nervous system is very overwhelmed. All the things that, I spoke about in the last episode, the family stuff, all of these things going on. I'm hosting an event coming up very soon. It's just, there's so much, right? So much going on. And for me to be able to give this person the love, the respect, the full attention that they deserve in my response, I just can't respond yet. And it doesn't mean, that I don't love them or that I don't care or anything like that, right? But I can sense that this person is assuming that I am ignoring them on purpose. I am not assuming that. I know it to be true. But here's the thing. And so, of course, I've, spoken with this person and let them know, like, obviously, this isn't my response to them. I don't like trauma dump on air like this. But here's the thing. I just take a sip of water. Here's the thing. When we make assumptions, it can change the way that we view a relationship based on something that's not a fact. So this person making assumptions that I'm just ignoring them, that I don't love them anymore, that I don't want to be their friend anymore. Like, I'm just exaggerating, of course, because I'm not going to share like the real details. But like, them, maybe they're assuming like, Audrey just hasn't responded because she doesn't, love me, or she doesn't care about what I said, or blah, blah, blah. Those assumptions are now robbing that person of their joy and now changing our dynamic of our relationship. Right? Rather than me being able to just have a little bit of time to process what I'm going through, to then be able to respond just from a really good place. So of course, that's part of like having really good communication. So that's part of me being able to go back to this person, and just let them know like, hey, like you deserve a huge response. Like you deserve my full awareness. I'm going through a lot of things right now. So I just need a little bit more time. And this doesn't mean that I need time like away from you. It just means that I need time for me to deal with what I'm going through, to then be able to, respond to you appropriately. But this is just like, one little example, right, of how assumptions show up. And for me, being the person on the receiving end this time of some assumptions, right? I see where it's really stressful to be the one that's put in the situation where somebody might be thinking something is going on a certain way, or there's a certain reason for, your response, or your, whatever, your lack of response, whatever it is. And being on the receiving end of these feelings changes so much the way that I think about how I show up and what I do, right? Because now I'm realizing when I assume things and get in my head about other people, all it's doing is stressing me out. So, for example, if I'm in a situation where maybe I really need to talk to a friend, or, I really need their attention or their advice or whatever, and they don't respond to me for like 2 days, this has totally happened. This happened not too long ago in the nursing world. I had a really sick patient. I had just like a crazy hectic night, and I really needed to like talk it out with like my nurse buddy. And they didn't respond to me right away. And then she finally responded like a day and a half later, and it was just like, this like response, like, oh yeah, like I know we all kind of go through that, or just something kind of like that, where I was like, what? I needed like a big response from you. And that's okay, because she couldn't, right? For whatever reason. But when I'm on that end where I'm the one that's maybe not receiving the communication that I desired, or the high touch, I guess communication from that friend, then I might be feeling left out. I might be feeling upset about this. I might be feeling bad about this. So just to like recap, when I'm the one in the situation who's receiving a little bit of a lack of communication, or maybe it not going my way, or whatever it is, or feeling like a friend is a little bit MIA, like what's going on now, in the future, I'm going to be so much more cautious about not assuming that it's personal, not assuming that it's about me, not assuming that this person is like taking a step back, or doesn't love me, or doesn't want to respond. It's just like, maybe they're going through a lot. I don't know if I've really been on this situation where I've been the one that hasn't been able to respond because of so much going on, or how do I explain? Like, or have I been like the one who's very clearly thought about taking an intentional beat before responding? I think that so often, as just a high achiever, like a highly anxious woman, I have very often like responded very quickly, because I'm like, well, like, let's get that done, on to the next thing, let's get that done. But what happens is, in my opinion, if I respond too quickly to people, it isn't the best response. It's not the best way to go about things. It's more so just like a very quick response, a very quick, like, okay, cool. And then I might be just saying what they need to hear, or saying what they would want to hear to like appease them, to like be done with it. But I'm learning in my life that like when I slow down, when I'm more intentional with things, you're going to get the best of me, and I'm going to give the best of me. And that's what we all deserve. So I'm learning that like, I don't need to respond to everything right away. I don't need to like be so quick, because I'm trying to avoid them making assumptions about me, right? And I know we all do this. It's like, let me just answer real quick so they don't think I'm mad. Oh, let me answer real quick so that they don't think XYZ. Okay, that's not my problem anymore. It's not my problem to think about like, I got to do this so that they're like this, or I have to over explain myself so that they don't get upset, or, I need to walk on eggshells. No, like, this is my life. I'm not doing anything wrong, right? As long as you're not doing anything wrong, I'm living my life. And I'm living in this moment, trying to keep my joy, my peace, and the regulation of my nervous system intact. That's my priority. And that should be yours too. So if there's a situation that's driving you crazy because you are assuming things about other people, let it go for a minute. Just remember, like maybe they haven't texted you back. Maybe they haven't responded. Maybe you're in an awkward place with somebody. And, who knows? Like it could be anybody, right? A friend, a spouse, a boss, whoever, a family member. But remembering everybody is going through their own things. And I felt so called to come in and just share this today. That first of all, I am sharing this from a place of me being on both ends. I've been there so often in my life where I'm the one that was like making the assumption about somebody's like love towards me, or somebody's perception of me, or somebody's whatever, based on their communication or lack of communication. And I've been so quick to assume, judge, compare, whatever, because of that. Instead of taking a beat and realizing that it's not about me. I've been so quick to do that for so long, for years and years, in tons of situations. I've been like, oh, they don't love me anymore. Oh, they don't care about me anymore. Like, whatever, right? I've done this so many times instead of me taking a beat, instead of me realizing that, like, these people probably just need whoever it is, right? Whatever situation, they probably just need a minute. Maybe they need an extra minute. Maybe they have a ton of stuff going on that just happened emergently that I don't know about yet. Or maybe I won't ever know about because it's not like something that they feel the need to share with me. But when they can, when they do have the bandwidth, they'll get back to me. And they always do, right? We'll spend 2-3 days like ruminating on something, tripping out, freaking out. Maybe it's a whole week that's gone by. And then eventually you always hear back from that person because of course they love you and of course they care about you. But in the meantime, we were robbing ourselves of so much joy that we could have had living in the present moment and enjoying our life rather than freaking out about these things. And it's just coming so clearly to me, so full circle to me as I'm on the other side right now, where I'm able to like actually sit here and realize like, hold on, because now that I'm the one that can't respond to several situations, to several things that are in my DMs, my inbox, my texts, whatever, I'm able to just take that breath and I'll respond when I can. And in the meantime, I can send those little responses. I love you so much. I'm going through a lot. I'll check in when I can. But I'm also, let me repeat this, also allowed to take care of my nervous system and take a step back because there are other things that are really, really, really massively impacting my life that I have to deal with first. So whichever end you're on, maybe you're on that end where you're the one that's home and you're like assuming and you're just like, what is happening? Just give it a minute, give it a beat, take a step back. And if you're the one that's on the other end, where you're the one that maybe you think that assumptions could be getting made about, or you're the one that's like, I have to hustle and give like a half-assed response so they don't think that I'm mad, whatever, just know that it's okay for you to take care of your nervous system. It's okay for you to take a step back. Go sleep for 12 hours if you need to. Go shut down everything, put your phone in the bedroom, and go watch a movie. Literally, I did this the other night. I literally watched Cruella. Oh my God, obsessed. I've always been a Cruella de Vil fan, you guys. I'm like a Grinch and Cruella de Vil fan, but I'm also like the nicest person you'll ever meet. So I don't know what that says. I think there's a secret alter ego. But yeah, I just love it. So I like watched this movie and I sat there while I laid on the couch, hung out. It was like everything was dark. It was like low stimulation. Just kind of watched this show, the Cruella, the one with Emma Stone. It was really good. I mean, obviously, she's like kind of a major villain, but like it was a good movie. But left my phone in the room, didn't respond to anybody, didn't talk to anybody, and it doesn't mean that I don't like them. It doesn't mean that I don't want to ever talk to them again or want to be their friend. It just means that I needed to shut down. So full permission to do the same for yourself. It is time for you to regulate your nervous system, to take care of yourself, to experience the joy in the moment and stop robbing yourself of the joy that you're allowed to be feeling just because you're worried about what other people will think if you take a minute for yourself. Rant is over. Love you so much. Take care. And I hope that you have a blessed day, a beautiful day. Like this sunrise is just so gorgeous. I hope you go experience one soon. If not, go watch like a sunset. It's still like the sun is still setting early enough that you can like go do something like that for yourself. Just enjoy. And I will take care of myself and I will see you here next time.